People in the town of Silver Creek still talk about the day I made the strangest decision of my life. Some call it foolish. Others call it reckless. A few, the kinder ones, call it brave. But none of them knew the truth back then. Not really. They only saw what was on the surface. A quiet cowboy choosing a girl everyone else ignored. A man with a steady life, tying himself to someone the town believed had none. They didn't understand why I did it. Truth is, I didn't expect them to. I first saw her on a hot afternoon. The kind where the sun presses down so hard it feels like the earth might crack open beneath your feet. The town was alive with noise, horses stomping, men laughing outside the saloon, merchants calling out their prices. But in the middle of it all, she stood in silence. She was carrying a heavy bucket of water, her steps slow but steady, her eyes fixed on the ground as if looking up might invite trouble. Her dress was faded, her hands rough, and there was a quiet exhaustion about her that most people would miss if they didn't bother to look closely. But I noticed. I don't know why. Maybe because I'd seen that same kind of weariness before, in my own reflection years ago. The man who owned her barked orders without even glancing her way, as if she were no more than a tool left out in the sun. She didn't complain, didn't argue, just kept moving, one step at a time, like she had learned long ago that resistance only made things worse. Something about that settled heavy in my chest. Most folks in town walked past her without a second thought. That's the way things were. People accepted it, didn't question it. But I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to her than what everyone chose to see. I didn't speak to her that day. Not at first. I just watched. Watched the way she worked without stopping, the way she avoided meeting anyone's eyes, the way she seemed to shrink into herself whenever someone raised their voice. It wasn't fear alone. It was something deeper, something learned over time. And I realized then that she had probably spent her whole life being told she didn't matter, that she was less, that she was invisible. Maybe that's why I stepped forward. When I asked the man how much he wanted for her, he laughed like I'd just told the finest joke in town. He called her weak, said she wasn't worth the trouble, said I'd regret it. But I had already made up my mind. It wasn't about what she could do. It wasn't about value the way he understood it. It was about giving her something she had never been given before, a chance. When she looked at me for the first time, really looked, I saw something in her eyes I won't ever forget. Not hope, not yet. Something more fragile than that. Something like disbelief. Like she didn't quite trust what was happening, and maybe didn't dare to. I told her she was free, that she didn't owe me anything, that she could go wherever she wanted. She asked me a question that stayed with me long after. Where would I go? There was no bitterness in her voice, no anger, just a simple truth. She had never been given a choice before, so she didn't know what to do with one. That's when I said it. The words that changed both our lives. I've got a small place outside town, I told her. A ranch. It's not much, but it's quiet. You could stay there. No one telling you what to do. She hesitated, like she was trying to understand whether I meant it. Then I added, we could make it proper. Marriage, if you want. Only if you want. You'd still be free. Now that's the part people never understood. They thought I married her out of pity. Thought I was trying to play the hero. But the truth is, I didn't offer marriage to save her. I offered it because I believed she deserved something real. Something no one could take away or question. She said yes, but not right away. She took her time, thought about it, and when she finally agreed, it wasn't out of fear. It was a choice. Her first real one. Life on the ranch wasn't easy. It never is. The land was stubborn, the work was long, and there were days when it felt like we were barely holding things together. But something changed in that little cabin over time. Slowly, quietly, like the turning of seasons, she started to smile. At first, it was small. Just a flicker, gone as quickly as it came. But it grew. She began to speak more, to ask questions, to laugh when I made a fool of myself trying to fix things I didn't fully understand. She planted flowers near the front of the house, said it made the place feel alive. And she was right. For the first time in a long while, I didn't feel alone. The town, of course, had plenty to say about it. They whispered behind our backs, said I had lost my sense, said she didn't belong. Some even tried to warn me, as if I hadn't thought it through. But I never paid them much mind. People talk when they don't understand something. Always have. What they didn't see were the quiet moments. The way she looked at the sunrise like it was something sacred. The way she worked, not because she was told to, but because she wanted to build something of her own. The way she trusted me, little by little, until it wasn't hesitation in her eyes anymore, but warmth. The truth is, I didn't just change her life. She changed mine. There came a day when men from my past rode into town, well-dressed, confident, the kind of men who carry authority without needing to speak it out loud. They had been looking for me. For years, in fact. That's when everything came out. I wasn't just a simple cowboy. Not entirely. My family had owned land, more than most people in the region could imagine. Wealth, influence, expectations. All of it had been waiting for me after my father passed. But I had walked away from that life, left it behind, because I didn't want to become someone I didn't recognize. When the town found out, the whispers turned into something else. Shock, confusion, regret, in some cases. Suddenly, the man they had dismissed for his choices wasn't so easy to judge anymore. And her? They looked at her differently too. That's when I finally told them the truth. I didn't marry her because she was less, I said. I married her because she's more than any of you ever cared to see. Silence fell over the crowd that day, because deep down, they knew it was true. The greatest surprise wasn't my past. It wasn't the land or the money or the name I had left behind. It was this, that the girl they ignored, the one they thought had nothing, was the reason I found something worth holding on to. We never went back to that other life. Didn't need to. The ranch was enough. The quiet mornings, the shared work, the laughter that came easier with each passing day. That was the life we chose. And if you ask me now why I married her, I'll tell you the same thing every time. Because she reminded me what it means to see a person's and to be seen in return. And that's worth more than anything I ever left behind.